Yo, what's going on? I'm on GT.
And I'm Jordan
And we are BBK here with another
Podcast.
show. Yes. Okay, you guys, we're gonna get into a book that's this book is highly regarded as a number one financial literacy book, number one investment book. A lot of people use this book as a starter book to kind of get a mindset difference, I would say. Rich
Yeah, we ending the season with a bang.
Yes, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. All right, Jay, what you got for us today?
All right, let's just get right into it. Because I'm sure everyone, well, I feel like the people who watch our channel have read this book or at least have heard of this book. If you haven't read it, definitely pick it up. It's definitely a good starter book, like you said. But the main thing I want to say this book is about is assets versus liabilities, making sure you are buying assets and talking about how the poor and the middle class buy liabilities and the rich are buying assets. Would you agree with that's like the main purpose of the book, the main point of the book?
Yes. It's definitely, like she said, it's definitely trying to get you to. I say it's like a paradigm shift. It focuses on if you was in the society, American going to public school. A lot of it focuses on going to college and just finding a good company to work for, finding a good company to work for. But this book it kind of challenges that in the aspect of okay, you can find a good company to work for, but you're not really gonna get anywhere until you let your money work for you instead of working for money. So I like
Yeah.
this book too. This is one of my favorites just because it was one of the books that really shifted my mindset.
Yeah, I feel like this is everybody's like one of their first books. This is definitely, I want to say this is like the second or third book I read for leisure when I first started getting into reading for fun. So I think this is like a really good, like, oh, you want to start learning to read business books and nonfiction. This is probably the book for you. So,
Yeah, I agree.
but let's get into some of the topics what everybody's waiting for. And I feel like this general concept. So let's not get confused about the book. It is very general. It's not going to tell you how to do it. It's just ideas and a general concept. But I think this general concept of the book tells you literally how you can take your life and get to that next step. So his main purpose, like I said, is buying assets instead of liabilities. So if you don't know already, an asset is something that makes you more money, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. And people have debates on this, mainly like the middle class. I feel like it's kind of like debating on which is an asset, which is liability. But we can definitely just talk about all the different type of assets and liabilities that he's referring to in the book.
Mhm.
But I want to kind of get into one of the subtopics of assets when you said it's about making your money make money, making your money work for you. So many people would say that's like passive income. But I feel like a lot of people don't actually know what passive income is. So I was curious, what's your definition of passive income?
Well, for me, how I like to shorten it and simplify it is that passive income is money that if I'm going to sleep and I'm waking up, it's money that I didn't physically work for at that moment. So a lot of people, when they think of work, they think of, you punching in numbers or you clocking in, you clocking out. I received a total amount of money for that time period. But for me, passive income is okay, well, I pay for this house, right? Or I'm working on this house and now my tenants are paying me money every month. Every month I'm getting money or I'm investing in, let's say, vending machines. I'm purchasing the snacks. Every month it's accumulating money. And that's passive for me because I'm not necessarily at that moment working for it. At that moment working for it. So
Uh, Okay, so for you, passive income would be I may have to do something in the beginning, but then after that, it's just coming in.
yeah, I'll say that.
Okay, yeah, I agree 100% because I feel like a lot of people who don't necessarily know exactly what passive income is thinks it's like you did something and then now you're in the Bahamas sipping a coconut shell and your phone's turned off for 3 weeks. And I feel like we need to let people know that that's not passive income. You still have to take some efforts and and for it to just come in, because I feel like that has been extremely popular on social media. Like, oh, I'm making passive income. I don't do anything. I just sit and I chill all day. That's
Yeah.
not the case. I think literally the only thing that I could think of that is truly that type of passive income would be dividends, because you don't have to call nobody. You don't have to talk to anybody on the phone. You don't have to sign any papers. You're literally getting that check from the stock. But everything else, you do have to do that like initial transaction. Like you said, vending machines, you still got to go buy the snack, but you're right. Once that snack is in the vending machine, I just am waiting for people to buy the snack. So I think that's I feel like that's a huge type of disconnect for people who just are watching people on social media saying, I have passive income, I don't do anything all day.
Yeah, and you know what? And a lot of the times it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of shares the real hard work, because it's not just all peaches and cream in the beginning. In the beginning, when we talk about assets, we're talking about investments, right? So I have to put in the work in the beginning. I have to accumulate my assets. I have to make sure that they're running properly, make sure I have everything rented. It's a lot of work that go into it. So eventually you can be in the Bahamas drinking out of the coconut shell, and that's a thing that, they make it seem like it's easy, but it steps in this places in progress. And it's a lot of information you must learn in order to participate in some of these assets. Like, for example, you have a property. If you own properties, anything could break down, anything could go wrong. Your tenant might leave, you might have to replace your tenant, and that's fine. But when your tenant is in there, everything is running smoothly, you had to fix it up. You had to put money to fix it up. You had to put money in to purchase the property. But the reason you're doing that for is before the later. We don't practice enough delayed gratification in our society, and social media make it seem like you want everything just now. No, assets and investing is more so, in my opinion, okay, this is what I'm doing for my future. My now self is working hard, making sure I'm maintaining my investment, maintaining my investments, maintaining my assets, so that my future self can be in the Bahamas just chilling. But I don't know. What would you say? What are some of your favorite assets? Just to give the people kind of a definition. What would you say is an asset, and what would you say is a liability?
Okay, yeah. Let's start off with what I feel like are true assets and true liabilities, and then we can get to that gray area that he was talking about that I see with my own eyes. So assets, making your money make money. So real estate, we already talked about that. You buy something and it's in investing. Let's get this specifically. Investing in real estate, meaning you're buying something and people are paying you rent, or you're flipping it. Or stocks would be that, because if you hold something for a long enough time, it increases in value. Or again, you're flipping it. You bought it for this price and you're selling it for this price. So things that you're either flipping or that's increasing in value as you hold it within time would be an asset. And then the liability is something taking money out of your pocket. So I will be honest and say that there are gray areas, because a huge gray areas would be cars and houses. Some people will say a car is an asset because I couldn't get to work without a car. And then you have the other group of people saying a car is a liability because once I drive it off the lot, not only did I depreciate my value by 30%, but I'm also paying the car note. So it's taking money out of my pocket. So I will say, I'll be fair and say I can see the gray area. But for me, I think it is a liability, and I would like to personally take my car payment out of luxury. I don't do that, but that's where my goal is, taking my car payments out of luxury, because I do think it is a liability. Same thing for the house. We have a lot of people thinking a house is an asset because you're owning it. But this is huge to me, because I go back and forth all the time. I see the positive and negatives, but let's be real. A lot of house loans are for 30 years. So you're taking out a 30-year mortgage. How many people do you know who own their house for 30 years? Very, very, very few, because when people start getting raises, they want to get into a bigger house. There's very few people who actually pay that house off in full and own it, and then actually upgrade or stay in that house. A lot of people are paying it off for maybe 10, 15 years, and they're like, oh, I just got a raise. Me and my husband just got a raise. Let's get a bigger house. And then here we go. We got another mortgage now. So that's just money always coming out of your pocket. You never are owning the asset.
Right. I would like to agree with you 100%, right? And I see the gray area as well, because let's say, for example, let's take it back to cars, right? Yes, some people will get a car, like you said, for work, and now I have to car note every month, right? And need maintenance, you need car insurance, you need gas. So much money is pouring into your vehicle, pouring into your vehicle, which can make this type of purchase a liability. Now, some people, right, because we're talking about the gray area, will take a car and then put it on Turo, or put it in somewhere to the or their own rental agency, to where, okay, well, let me send my car out. Okay, I still have to pay for the same thing, but now my car, instead of just depleting, my car is bringing me back money. And same for houses. Like you said, somebody may get 30-year loans, right? Which is a very common thing when you buy houses. Now you have the power to, okay, now I can put it on a Airbnb or another house rental platform, to where, okay, now I'm renting it out. The problem is most people in society only use or make purchases in the liability field. I'm buying this car because I need A to B. But the thing is, whether you break your leg, whether you quit your job, you still owe that money at the end of the month. It's still coming out your pocket at the end of the month. So if you don't have an investment covering your car note, if you don't have, your car is not making the money for you, it can easily be a liability. And that's what I think she's referring to. Correct me if I'm wrong when you talk about gray area, how, okay, this purchase can take money away from me, but if I'm smart about it, if I have the information, I could put it on certain platforms to where, okay, I can at least make money or make something from this asset. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, that's actually even better, because when this book was written, Airbnb and Turo was not even a thing. Exactly. I don't even think when this was written they had apps like that. So you not only just said, like, not only could it not be a liability, but it could be a whole asset. So that is very true. I completely forgot about that. And at first I thought you were gonna say flipping cars, which is another way to make buying cars an asset, because once again, you're holding it for a certain amount of time and then exchanging it for more money. But yeah, precisely.
So in our field, right, me and Jordan, when we came together, when we decided to do this podcast, I think we both kind of knew we both, have been friends for years, long time actually, and we both were kind of in the same fields. I was posting books, she was posting books. We were always kind of just in the same, we wanted the same things, or we were in similar settings to where our goals kind of aligned. And I would say for me, and as well as her, making sure that we are accumulating assets is very important for us, right? I actually seen her tweet, like, if you don't have a minimum of 5K in investments, I don't even think like that's a standard for me for a date now, because this is so important to me. It's so important that our people, people that's young like us, we both under 30, we're doing the right things with our money, because our culture will promote a lavish lifestyle, which can be liabilities. Our culture will kind of embrace going out all the time, spending money all the time. So what me and Jordan trying to do, sorry to speak for you, we trying to make sure that a lot of our money is going into these assets, investment, going into stocks, going into real estate, going into anything that, okay, if I pay this price now, this will yield dividends. This will bring me back money. This will bring me back more money than I spent. Now, all the time, that's not going to happen, right? To where you can make bad investments. But a bad investment is only learning experience. So it's very, very important to not beat yourself up if you are on the wrong path, or if you are making bad investments, and if you don't understand it, because it's still a process, it's still a learning experience. That's why the coconut shell on the beach, that's not the most perfect picture, because this is a journey. This is something that's, it may not be easy, and it may not be for the weak, but It's very important if you don't want to live an average life making average money doing average things.
Yes, exactly. I think we should talk about how, I don't want to say effective, but how we kind of feel. Well, I don't know about you. I'm speaking for you, but I personally sometimes feel like I am missing out. I want to say missing out. So fear of missing out. I want to kind of talk to that, but I do want to go back real quick when you said I had tweeted that my next relationship, I want to make sure that they had 5K invested. When I tell you I got backlash for that tweet, and it's kind of a shame because I'm not young. I feel like at my age, I'm getting to the age where I want a family soon. And if you think 5K is like unreasonable, then I think that's an issue with, like, come on, we got to do better. We got to do better as a community, as a society, as a people. Like, if y'all think 5K is too much to have invested somewhere, man. But
No, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you because it's just like for us, we have to set standards that's going to be, in order to get somewhere, you have to have standards, right? You know, in high school, we have somebody telling us where to go, where to be, etc. But now we don't have that. We have to set those goals. We have to set those standards for ourselves. So it's very important that you do set standards like that. And like I said, at this moment in our life, like we a couple years from 30, right? But people like I used to tell people this all the time. When you get your taxes done, you can see what you made a year. You can see what was taken out a year. If we all started, you know, some people start working at 16, 17, even if you start working at 20. If you almost 30, these are numbers that shouldn't be a lot to you, in my opinion, because you've been working for years and years and years and years. And some of you, okay, maybe you make 20, if you making 20,000, 30,000 a year, that's a year, right? Take out your expenses. Where is all your money going to? And that's a
exactly.
problem with people who don't like, okay, well, you might not have this amount, you might not have this amount. But it's just like, well, what do you have to show for your money? What do you have to show? Not the car that's breaking down on you, you know, not you getting to the highest amount of debt for your house, not you kicking it every weekend, doing this, doing that. What do you have to show for all the money you've accumulated over the years? I want to see.
Yeah. And let's talk about the other side of that. Because like you were saying, you and I, we do prioritize assets over the liabilities and the flexing life we see and the materialistic things. So I'm curious as to, do you experience fear of missing out? Because I absolutely experience fear of missing out. As we kind of talked about in a couple episodes ago, that I'm an engineer, so I do make pretty good money. But I honestly, I feel like if I were not me, I wouldn't look at me and say, oh, she makes good money. And I feel like sometimes that does make me feel like, dang, am I not living my life? Am I not experiencing my 20s? Because I'm not buying a bunch of designer or doing this and doing that. And believe me that I could do that, but I choose to put multiple thousands into the stock market every month versus into some clothes.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Me, I like to, and what I think we're talking about is delayed gratification, right? And it's not saying that you never do anything for yourself, but it's not a priority to. We make a priority into looking good instead of being good, and that's our problem. And it's like society kind of. I feel like it's kind of engineered by society too, because you see people, look at my wrist, look at my fits, look at this, and we make that so important, but it's like I'm not doing all this hard work to enjoy this now. This is the time where I got my most energy, right? And right now, at this moment, we are the youngest we will ever be. We won't get no younger than what we are, right? So I'm doing all my hard work now. I'm missing out on that stuff now. So when it does come time to pay for this stuff, and when I want to enjoy everything at the end of life, it's no problem. It's no problem. My kids, they don't have no problem. If they don't want to work for nobody, they don't have to. If they want to work for people, they can. They have options. So many of us in our culture do not have options, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was kind of thinking about this the other day, and how I kind of looked at it in my mind is, I could be 100% wrong, by the way. So for the audience who thinks I'm just completely left field, but for me, I kind of looked at it like, you have two options in life, really. This is how I looked at it. You could either be extremely happy for a moment in time where you're flexing and spending, but then when it gets to that point where it all catches up to you, you're depressed and you're sad. Or or you can be cool with where you are while you're grinding. You're not flexing like the people around you. You're not showing off. You can be cool, but when it's finally that time to recoup all that work you've been doing, it's over for you. You chilling and you cool. You don't gotta deal with depression. You don't gotta deal with worrying about where your next check's coming, when your next check's coming, where your money's coming. Like, you're cooling and you're chilling. And if you really do it big, you live in the life. So that's kind of how I looked at it.
No, I would like to say, yeah, 100%, man. I have friends now that love them to death, but like you said, they looking around, they just like, I don't really have money. I don't, but you're making money. And it's just like, for a long time, I was doing a lot of people in my family, a lot of my friends' budgets. I would articulate it down, right? I even do the gas. Okay, how far is your mileage from work? I would look at the miles per gallon they would get with a gas tank. Like, okay, if you hit this and you go to work this week, you're good. Like, I would break it down to make it impactful. But a lot of the times, the people I was doing it for weren't following the budget. And you not looking at your bank statements, you're not checking anything. Like, we have money. You may not have a lot of money, you may not have the most money, but if you have a job, if you have income and you have work coming in, and you're able to go out to eat all the time, kick it, spend it, this is a liability lifestyle, because you don't have nothing to show for it. And a lot of people think, this is another big thing, a lot of people think, oh, if I just make more money, all my problems will cease to exist. If I just make more money, everything will be gone. But the thing is like this, is if you can't manage $100 or $1,000, how do you expect to manage 100,000? You don't just throw fuel on a fire. You got to make something happen. So like you said, you see this culture want to embrace putting your money this, like I said, call it the liability lifestyle. But in order to make smart moves, smart investments, you have to weed out of that. You have to know where your money is going. I mean, every penny is not a penny that touched my bank account that I don't know where it's going. And you have to learn to apply and go accordingly.
Yeah, you spin facts. I'm the same way. I could tell you what I spent in 2017. Like, I have it written down or in an Excel spreadsheet. So, man, we got the blueprint right here.
But you know what? I want to talk about something real quick. So I don't know like what your family situation was before you read the book, or how did you actually think about the book. But I'm gonna be honest with you. This was a, like you said, recommendation, like one of the very first books I read, group of books I read. And I had a poor mindset. And the poor mindset, just to kind of summarize it really quickly for you guys, is, like, you work hard to get a good job, right? You work hard for money. You study, so you can find somewhere you can go to college and like you find a good job. It's a certain mentality that the poor mindset have, and a lot of them, they think money is the root of all evil, right? If I get rich, I'm just, everybody who's rich is just evil. And they fear change, big at criticizing, waste time. So I want to know, before you read this book, did you have a poor mindset? And let's talk about some of the differences between the poor mindset and the rich mindset.
I'm assuming you mean the very first time I read it, which was years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I really don't remember how I used to think, which is kind of nuts. But the only thing I can remember was when I was 21, which, for those who don't know, was almost 6 years ago. That's when I had the complete was it 180? The complete 180. But I don't recall how I used to think when I was like 20 or 19.
Well, for me, I did. I had a poor mindset. I thought, it was a time where I was in eighth grade and we took this like I don't know if it's called an aptitude test, but basically it was a test that seen where your career, where you best fit in your career. And mine was always around math. I was around like finance and numbers. I love numbers. So that was true. But they was pressing it because they wanted to see what was your major in college. Like what are you gonna go for? There was always talk about college, college, college. No talk about trades, no talk about opening up your businesses or entrepreneurship, just college. So that's what I thought. I thought that okay, well, in order to be successful, I just need to go to college. And I would just look like, okay, I have to do something around finance, marketing, because this is what I like to do. And, and then this is the time I started reading this book. And I was just like, well, that's not going to be my best self there. I don't even want to come to school when they tell me. I didn't even want to be at school at 7 o'clock or the time they told me. And I have a list of tardies that would prove that. But I know I kind of had to take it to my own hands because I'm what I like to call a natural leader. I was born a natural leader. I was born to take not necessarily take over, but take charge, take initiative. And it works very well with me. So when I was reading the book, it just switched because I'm just like, this is not my mentality. Like I felt fooled and bamboozled. I started taking charge. I started taking initiative. I started studying, getting into all different types of books. I made success my obligation and my mindset shifted because along with, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Jordan, along with having assets and having investments, you need the mentality behind that. You need to know what your goals are. And like I said, for me, I made success my obligation, but it isn't just something that you just, okay, let me just get an asset. No, you have to have a certain mentality and a mindset behind this. Would you say you agree with that? Or for you, is that different?
Yeah, I think especially at our age, I think as you get older, your mindset doesn't have to be as strong. I guess strong would be the word because you're kind of just you're at this point in life where you're like, okay, something had to change. But I think at our age, for sure, because like I kind of just said, everyone is flexing in your face and everyone is showing off this and that, and it's like we are heads down, focused, eyes up front. So I definitely think we got to keep a strong mindset. Anybody who's also like us or getting to that point of where we're at, you got to keep a strong mindset and you have to kind of block out all the extra stuff you see because you're going to see the extra. But yeah, you got to focus on your end goal and you got to focus on yourself.
Yeah, you got to say no a lot. You got to say no a lot. I say no a lot. And like she said, FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, sometimes I do think, oh, well, maybe I should have went to that party, or maybe I should just treat myself to a nice little Gucci little, I seen this one wrap around Gucci. It was like a little bag or something. But I was just like, no, because the money I spent on Gucci, I could have put into a stock, or I could put into buying some new toilets, or I can put into this, and it's gonna make me my money back. So saying no is your best friend. Is never. Don't feel bad about it. Your friends may be mad. Your friends and family may be mad now. They won't be mad later. And when they really see what you're working towards, they definitely won't be mad later. They'll be your best friends.
Yeah, I want to get even more relatable to the audience. Let's talk about what has failed before you got to where you are. Have you tried other avenues that haven't worked out?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I felt I don't necessarily want to call this a failure, right? Because I don't look at things, I don't even use the word failure. I lose learning experience in place of. I had a wholesaling business. I purchased different emails. I purchased different numbers. I did the work and did the bandit signs. I placed them all over the city. I was getting calls and it didn't work out. I was invested in me and my partner. A lot of times I collaborate with like-minded individuals just to, keep it going. But my partner, then it just wasn't working out. The mindset that we had that required that what the business required, it didn't match. So it was a learning experience. It didn't take off how I wanted to take off. So just like, well, hey, but yeah, so I pretty much failed. And at times, I bought stocks that didn't do well. I was into a penny stock craze at one particular time that me personally, I know some people are successful at things, but I wasn't. So I'm just speaking for me. If you like these things and if they work for you, then that's what matters. But they don't work for me. And I'm not upset about anything that doesn't work for me because we all are different individuals and everything don't work for everybody. It's people who make money at the casino. That don't mean I'm gonna gamble. So yeah, so just for me personally, like I've always had learning experiences, aka failures, in investing, but I always treat them as learning experience. And still, every day it's still a challenge, and it's a growth, and it's everyday learning experience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get into my failures. But I do agree. I think they're learning experiences more than failures because it's not really failure since I got back up.
Hey,
But let's just get started because I just know people can relate to this and see that's why all of our books connect because in I Went in the Devil, he said the devil gives us 3 tries and then he got us because he says 99% of people give up after the third try. But all right, let's get this list. So I did Shopify's. I did a couple Shopify stores, so I try to sell.
oh, damn, hold on, hold on.
Hold on, man. We coming back. We coming back. I did a couple. I did 2 Shopify stores, so I tried a basic Shopify store. I actually got it on. Here we go. And I did sunglasses Shopify store. Those didn't work out. I did Amazon with the Amazon FBA that everybody want to talk about. You make millions from. I did Amazon FBA, so toys on Amazon FBA. I tried to sell toys on eBay. That didn't work. I did do reselling shoes. Reselling shoes was good, but it's not gonna make me rich. Like I was making okay money, but it's not gonna make me like the type of money that I want to make to be wealthy. And it takes a lot of hours and time, honestly, if you want to be really good. Um, so I did that. That's 4 right there. So we already ahead of the game. And then last but not least, there's probably a lot more, but those are the biggest ones I can think of that a lot of people probably have tried. And last one that probably a lot of people have tried is stocks. And like you said, I tried the penny stocks before. I did the options. I did everything. I've been trying to do it for 5 years now, and I finally had my first profitable month after 5 whole years. So it took a long time to finally win, but here we go. So I think the failures can be more relatable because everyone wants to say they won, right? But nobody ever wants to say the failure. So if you're failing, just know that just get back up and it's a lesson learned.
and you know what? Another thing, right? So with failing, right? And when I said, previously about things that, did not work for me, you also learn what you really want to do because like you said, like another book we covered, Outwitting the Devil, you need this burning fire. You need a passion about what you're doing. I don't really want to do, none of us want to do what we don't want to do. If I'm not getting up every day and don't get me wrong, you have bad times, but it's still an enjoyment. It's still something that at the deep core of us, we love what we're doing. And that's why I embrace the failures as well, because I learned I didn't want to do this. For example, right? So going back to the Shopify stores, I was in that too. I had technically 3 Shopify stores, right? And this was around the time when Donald Trump was running for president. I had a 4 Donald Trump store. So everybody who supported him, who was Make America
Yo, that's
Great Again,
genius.
I had a store. I had an against Donald Trump store. Everybody who did not like him, I was selling shirts. I was selling t-shirts, and I had a team. And we were just pushing and pushing, and we was buying Google ads. I mean, we was just really now the Trump shirts, both sides did pretty well, right? But he ain't running no more. And that's just something I want to do. And I also had something that did very poorly, which was a fitness apparel store. Oh God, I think we made like maybe one sale for months on it. I don't know.
Yo.
the recipe that we had, I really don't know what worked, but I did know that it was like it was a gym, like he's like a trainer and this fitness guy. He was the most passionate of the group. I didn't really want to. I seen the Donald Trump money and I was making it. I just want to specify. I'm not really into. I learn politics and I study politics, but like I said, both sides are passionate about something. So my goal was, how can I make money to where everybody's happy? The people who was for Donald Trump was happy. The people who was against him was happy. And when
Bro, that is genius. That is genius right there.
And and that's another thing I learned, and that's why I love these experiences, these learning experiences, because I learned that when people are emotional at something, regardless, you can make money. That's an opportunity there. It was an investment. We were paying for the site, we were paying for the that's it, but we was using drop shipping. It was another company. So when people would, fill in their orders, all we did was take the information, put it in a site, and profit when they paid us. So like I said, it's great that I learned that. I'm so thankful for it. I made my money in it, but remember, this is going to teach you who you really are and what you really want to do here. Because you're on a path, and the path is not a straight path, but at least you get to gain insight about you personally and see, like, okay, well, what's smart and what works well for me. Because it's not just about business and assets and investment. It's about, how do I want to run my business? What do I want to invest in? And what are my assets?
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%.
So yeah, man, we get y'all earful. Hopefully y'all take this episode and y'all really, really study, apply, go read the book. And just like I said, you make your own personal recipe. Everything don't work for you. Everything don't work for everybody. So you got to figure out, okay, well, what's smart and what works for you, and take and learn and keep researching, keep studying, keep delaying gratification. Treat yourself sometimes. Don't just be, 100%. I mean, you need a little bit of joy, but don't make it your purpose. Don't make it big in your budget. Make it a small piece. My fun time is a very small piece of my budget because I enjoy doing what I'm doing, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I feel like it kind of may be difficult if you truly enjoy like materialistic items. It may be a little more difficult. But yeah, I get way more joy in how can I hit my goal in this, this, and this. It's just more enjoyable to me because I can see myself progress and I'm working towards something versus I'm just going out and buying some clothes. But yeah, if you want to get ahead in the game, you want to help people get ahead after you done mastered the game, and you just want to work together and uplift ourselves in society, my people, your people, our people in society, this is how we got to do it. We got to put our money into investments.
100%. So just to wrap it up, Jeff, would you rate this book overall?
Oh, the infamous rating. To end the season, I'm going to say, because I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy reading this book again, and I haven't read this in like 3 or 4 years. I'm gonna give it an 8.75.
Okay. That's so funny, man. Mine was a 9. Mine was
It's a 9. I was deciding. I was deciding. I was like, should I do the 9 or the 8.75?
I like either way. It's damn near the same thing. Because
Yeah,
you need this information. You need to kind of get a fundamental mindset of what investments is. And this is not his only book. He has plenty of different books. He has one with Donald Trump I enjoy as well. But and I just want to, just to be clear, it's not nothing about Trump supporting here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Trump the businessman.
Like I said, my mindset is finance. My mindset is, what can I make money for? Unfortunately, we are humans. We have emotions. So I'm trying to support everybody's emotions. That does not mean I'm a specific supporter of anyone. But I just want to let you guys know honestly and how I think personally. Be smart out here. Don't let people playing on emotions heavy right now. People, let me poke at this, let me jab at this, let me make you feel bad about this. No, This is not a black thing. This is not a white thing. This is a green thing.
Yeah. We definitely spit some info for y'all. So hopefully y'all took something, at least a little piece from it.
Everybody have a good night, y'all.
Peace.